Hey Canucks fans, hope you're well, hope you had a good day. For those of you who went to school, either as a teacher or as a student, first day of school, first day back, hope that went well for you as well. For me, first time in 5 years that I'm not studying, and I absolutely love it. Want to give an update on the Canucks goaltending situation. I've been talking for the last few weeks saying that this is going to be the number one story as we look ahead to Canucks training camp starting in a couple weeks. And sure enough, given the reaction to this report from Rick Dhaliwal this morning, I think it was proven to be the case once again. A lot of interest in the Canucks goaltending because they are obviously so instrumental to the Canucks' success. Now, Rick Dhaliwal posted a 90-second video this morning, and I've always said on this channel that I really respect and like Rick Dhaliwal. I really respect and like Patrick Johnson. I think those are two of the guys that are really, really connected in terms of the Vancouver Canucks. They talk to agents, they talk to players, they talk to coaching staff, they talk to people inside the organization. So and especially they don't do things for likes or for for clickbait or whatever like that. So I believe it when Rick Dhaliwal talks, and he talked about both the Canucks current goaltenders and one potential goaltender. So let's get into it, and at any time we'd love your thoughts in the comments below. Number one, Thatcher Demko. Good news for Thatcher Demko. It sounds like, according to Rick Dhaliwal, that he's been skating. He's been on the ice for the last few days, working out, and this is night and day, a complete 180, not a 360, because that just means you turn around and go the same way. There's a complete 180 from what we heard 2 weeks ago, when we heard that the rehab wasn't going as quickly as maybe the Canucks wanted, that maybe he wouldn't be ready to start the season. Backing it up, not ready for training camp, maybe not play in any preseason games because maybe a re-aggravation of his knee injury. Remember, he got hurt in last season near the end of the year, missed a lot of games, came back for the last week of the season, and then got hurt again in the first playoff game. And although the Canucks haven't come out and said anything yet, be nice if they did, but they haven't yet. A lot of speculation that it's the same knee that he re-injured, but then the back of his knee, I don't know what that means, and I don't know how long he's supposed to rehab it for. So the fact that Rick Dhaliwal says that Demko's on the ice, and he's been on the ice for a few days, and he's working out, that is certainly a good sign. Now, it doesn't mean that they've pushed up the timeline necessarily, that he'll be ready for training camp, that he'll be ready for preseason games, that he'll be ready for the start of the regular season in the second week of October. We don't know any of that, but I think compared to where we were 2 weeks ago, I think we can take this as good news that at least Thatcher Demko is on the ice. And like I said, much better news than we heard 2 weeks ago. So let's move from Thatcher Demko, our established number one goaltender, to the guy who would likely pick up a lot of the workload if Demko is not ready to start the season. And that, of course, is Latvian goaltender Arturs Silovs. We know the story about Silovs. A few days after learning about Demko, we found out that Silovs was not placed on Latvia's roster for that Olympic qualifying tournament, which, congratulations, Latvia was one of three teams that qualified for the 2026 Olympics. So, presuming Silovs is healthy and he's still a good player by then, he will be playing in the 2026 Olympics, which is nice. Now, the story that was reported on last week was that Arturs Silovs had inflammation of his knee ligaments. Yes, knee ligament inflammation. And that's why, for precautionary for precautionary reasons, he was held off, not included in Latvia's roster, not included on the roster, on the team for that tournament that they had last weekend. According to Rick Dhaliwal, Arturs Silovs is flying back from Latvia today. That means he'll arrive in Vancouver sometime today, if not already. And he's going to be assessed by Vancouver Canucks team doctors. And not to say that you can't believe the doctors that are over in Latvia, working with the Latvian national team or whoever it may be, but obviously the Canucks are the ones paying him. The Canucks are the ones that need him to be healthy. So they are the ones that are going to want to make their own diagnosis by checking Arturs Silovs out. So after many people reported and commented on, reacted to the news last week, a lot of people were saying that it was probably more precautionary, there I could say that word, as opposed to anything to worry about, and the Canucks had every right to, if they had any say to the Latvian national hockey team of saying, let's not push him, we need him ready for our regular season. So Arturs Silovs back in town, gonna see Canucks team doctors, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll hear a little bit more, get some more clarity around his situation. So good news for Demko. I'd say neutral news about Arturs Silovs. Finally, let's spend a couple minutes talking about a goaltender that the Canucks might go after, especially if Thatcher Demko is still not ready to start the season, whether that's 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and that is goaltender Kevin Lankinen. You guys know how much I like Lankinen. Picked him up my fantasy team, Keeper League, when he was a rookie with Chicago. Then the last 2 seasons, he was in Nashville making $2 million a season. So he's looking to, he's one of the goaltenders that are unsigned right now. And according to Rick Dhaliwal, the Canucks made Kevin Lankinen an offer, but rejected sounds so strong, but yes, he rejected the offer, or they are still negotiating. Basically, he didn't accept the first offer the Canucks gave him. I don't know what the offer was. Like I said, he made $2 million for the last 2 seasons over, in Nashville, playing very well actually when UC Saros was trying to find his game in the middle of last season. So whether Lankinen wants to make $2 million, wants to make a slight raise because they played well last year, or just get within that ballpark, I have a feeling the Canucks didn't offer him $2 million. The Canucks only have $190,000 in cap space. Now, of course, you can't offer him only $190,000. You can't even offer me $190,000. Oh, well, I take it, but the league minimum right now is like $750,000 or something. So if the Canucks were to sign Kevin Lankinen, they'd have to do one of 2 things: trade someone else or cut someone else to make room on that roster to whatever they're going to pay Lankinen, or you move Tucker Pullman, whose salary right now, even though he's injured, is on the regular salary cap. You could move him to long-term injury reserve, but then you give up that flexibility that the Canucks so badly desire of accruing cap space throughout the season all the way to the trade deadline, at which time you can trade for a good player to upgrade your team. So again, you can sign Kevin Lankinen by moving Tucker Pullman into LTIR, but it's something that the Canucks will not want to do. So that's kind of an interesting wrinkle to the story. And I've always said this, or you can flat out trade Pullman. I don't know how easy that is. I think the interesting wrinkle to this is it all depends on Thatcher Demko's health. And in a weird way, the better the news is for Thatcher Demko and for the Vancouver Canucks and for Canucks fans, the less likely chance that we're going to sign Kevin Lankinen. Because obviously, Lankinen, if he believes he can be a starter or at least a 1B type guy, he's not going to sign for $1 or $1.5 million only to be battling with Arturs Silovs for a backup role, 1 month into the season. So I think that's why this negotiation is a little bit complicated. And the better news around Demko, the better the news, the less chance that we're going to sign Lankinen. You go the other way, if you somehow Demko's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks, now you're thinking, okay, if you're not sure about Silovs just yet, not sure about Silovs and Patera, then you bring in someone like Kevin Lankinen to help out, and then his number obviously goes up. So that's something fascinating to look for. Another reporter reported that Antti Ranta, the veteran goaltender, might be another option for the Canucks as someone to bring in on a short-term basis. So there we go. Reporting from Rick Dhaliwal. Thatcher Demko on the ice, Arturs Silovs flying back to Vancouver, and the Canucks still interested in free agent goaltender Kevin Lankinen. Canucks fans, let me know in the comments what you think about any of this news. Are you more optimistic? Are you feeling a bit better now with this Demko news? And where do you think this is all going to go? I think is the more important part of the story, and where I would love your feedback. Don't forget, no live stream tonight. My next live stream will be Wednesday night at 11 p.m. right here on this channel. Shout out to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. And thanks for all of you for watching, liking, subscribing, and supporting me on this channel. On your way out, subscribe, like the video. You can leave a donation, become a member, upgrade your membership, and certainly leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on today's news? Hopefully optimistic news about Thatcher Demko and the Canucks goaltending overall. Leave a comment down below. Love to hear what you have to say. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. God bless, and go Canucks go.